'05 Silverado 5.3. Let me show y'all what the problem is. This is probably gonna be a 2 or 3 part video. It's got an intermittent ride knot, but all right, it might be a lifter. But first things first, y'all see that here's the oil pressure gauge right here. You can see it's maxed out on 80. So first things first, I'm gonna change that sensor, get the gauge back working, and see if when it starts tapping or knocking, if we get an oil pressure drop. I'm also gonna drop the oil and check it for copper flakes. So I already got the sensor here. Get you a helper. Also, you need a pair of comfortable flip-flops. You can't do good work if you're not comfortable. Remember that. So I got a 27 millimeter. That fits the gauge. I'm gonna try to do it with this setup, but I might need a swivel in the middle. So we'll be back. The gauge, well, hold on, before we be back. The gauge is also behind the intake. So I'm gonna pull this cover off, climb in there, and unplug it and loosen it. Real simple job. You gotta come all the way over here. See, it's a 3-prong yellow plug. It's hard to see, kind of just got a feel for it, but it should be like almost center of the back of the motor. If you feel for the switch, you should be able to feel for it. It's got a little tab you lift up and pull up. Real simple. Start going. You ain't gotta show me. Ready? Mm-hmm. You gotta come all the way over here. See, it's a 3-prong yellow plug. It's hard to see, kind of just got a feel for it, but it should be like almost center of the back of the motor. If you feel for the switch, you should be able to feel for it. It's got a little tab you lift up and pull up. Real simple. I don't know how good this will show up on camera. This is the one I took off the truck. If you see, the prongs are pushed all the way down, so basically they wasn't making a good electrical connection. If you see the new one, you see how the prongs are sticking up. I don't know how this coming up in the camera, but that seems to be the problem. We'll get this one on, and we'll be right back. I'll show you when I get done the setup I had to use. I had to switch up from the breaker bar. So got the sensor in there. I couldn't find my 1/2-inch swivel, so I ended up getting a 3/8 to 1/2-inch adapter, 3/8 swivel, long extension, 3/8 ratchet, and my 27 with a short 3-inch 1/2-inch extension. So this went down on the sensor, reached through the intake like this, and loosened it up. Screwed the new one in like all the way by hand, and then snugged it with that same setup I just showed you. Y'all let me walk off without the keys. So let's find out together if my mechanical diagnosis was correct, and then we'll go to the next step in figuring out this problem. Oh, look what we have there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but now it's reading 40 psi. Let me turn the radio down. So if you remember in the beginning, we was maxed out at 80. Now we're reading just under 40. Give the truck gas, the oil pressure does rise. So it's safe to say the oil pump is working. It's not doing it right now, but I have heard it make its little tick or tap. I'm getting this thing hot right before I drain the oil. But in the next step, I'm gonna drain the oil and basically just drain it in a clean pan, pour it off into another clean pan, and see if it's got any flakes in it. If it does have copper flakes in it, I would tend to think it's something like a bottom end issue, and maybe it'll be cheaper for the customer to just buy another junkyard 5.3 and put in it versus rebuilding this one. If I do not see flakes, then maybe we can just pull the top end off, throw a set of lifters in this thing. But I'll be back on the next step. And you know, when the camera's on, it's not making a noise now. So like I said, I'm gonna drain the oil, and check it out. It's he just had a fresh oil change, so I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna drain it out, look and see what's in it, and then pour it right back in. We'll be back for that too. I don't know if I can, I don't know if you can see that. That looks like a piece of dirt right there. I did see like one. See, that looks like dirt. Thought I seen like 1 or 2 copper flakes, but how this oil look, this is one right there. I don't know if you can see it right. I just can't see my finger. Hold on. Right here. But I would like to say the bottom end is probably okay. It's not full of copper, it's not full of metal shavings. It had a magnetic drain plug, and it came out clean. So it's probably just a lifter going out. Like I said, actually when I let it run today, I didn't hear the noise, but I have heard it. I heard it the other morning when I checked it out initially. But the oil came out clean. This engine does have 260,000 miles on it. So I'll talk it over with the customer. It's one of them deals where it's high mileage. I know if you want to tear it apart and stick some lifters in it, but I don't think the bottom end is going out. So like I say, this will be a multi-part series, because we'll get to the bottom of this issue, and I will take y'all along the whole way. But so far so good. We got the oil pressure gauge back working, no copper in the oil. Next is just a matter of pulling it apart and checking out those lifters. All right, thank you. Andrews Motorsports out.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm